For many health coaches, they are their own first client. And a lot of health coaches don't have a background in health, but out of necessity to deal with their own health issues, that led them into the world because they were their first client. And that is the exact case for our special guest, Maria Cassell, who had her own struggles with ulcerative colitis. You're going to hear this incredible story of how she got into remission and how she's used that journey to be able to help heal and support others and the incredible spin-off benefits. You got to stay tuned to the end because it goes far beyond just health. So please welcome Maria.
Thank you.
Well, I am so excited to dive into your story. Yours is a little bit unique. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing before health coaching and what led you into this world, and pick it up from wherever you'd like to share with us.
Well, I was born in Uruguay in South America, very much used to traditional cooking. Um, we can say healthy cooking, really good. I moved to the States in 2000, completely different environment, food-wise, and every other aspect you can think of. I mean, I had to get used to a new language. I had to get used to new traditions. I had to like make my own. It was an adventure. And as any adventure is also stressful. I started working using my degree in international business.
Mhm.
And in 2006, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. And I remember my doctor didn't explain much about this disease,
Mhm.
gave me a list of prescriptions, protocol for flare-ups, and he told me his advice was try to avoid raw vegetables and fruit. And that was devastating to me. My favorite food was salads. Like,
Yeah.
um, so off I go with not much knowledge about what was going on with me. There were a lot of struggles after that because the flare-ups were coming more often and more intense. I started to isolate socially because, every time I was going out for dinner with friends or families, I would like study that menu.
Mhm.
Or if it was an outdoor event, I would see where the bathrooms are and how public they were
Yeah.
and come up with an emergency plan. Most of the times, ended up canceling my plans, not going anywhere, which brings a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of food noise in your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
I started to get into depression on top of all that anxiety. It was not good, and I decided to deep go deeply into knowing more about this disease, and
Mhm.
I studied every information that would come my way. I would listen to every expert. I would read every book, trying to know more and see what I could do. And in 2020, I enrolled in IIN, the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, with the goal of organizing that knowledge,
Mhm.
mostly for myself. I needed to, to put it together some way that it could help me.
Mhm.
And in March of 2020, as we all know, we got into lockdown for the pandemic. I was sent to work from home. I was very lucky because I was going through the worst flare up ever.
Mhm.
I was in really bad shape. And also, I had ran out of my flare up medication. And in order to have that prescription renewed, I had to go visit my doctor in his office. And then is when you start to evaluate, should I go out there? There was a
Mhm.
lot of confusion, a lot of fear. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not adding one more thing to what's already going on with me. And I decided to put to practice all those things that I had learned. I came up with a plan. I put it to practice. That flare up ended. And in September 2021, I had a routine colonoscopy, and the result was no evidence of disease. And that's when I decided I need to tell others what I know now. And what was my only goal of like getting knowledge to heal myself turned into a bigger purpose. I wanted to tell everybody there is a way out of this. There is a way that you can get control over this. I decided to go out there and coach women with ulcerative colitis or other, gut issues.
What a profound story and transformation.
Mhm.
That entire journey, starting in South America and going through all of the, and then going back to the roots and coming up with a game plan. And for listeners who might be curious, I'm going to jump ahead here a little bit, and who might be curious and like, okay, like what was the game plan? Like, if anybody is sitting here with ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, gut health issues, and they're like, okay, what did she do that allowed her to have like no evidence of disease? I'm like, to be clear, you were diagnosed in 2006. So for 14 years, you struggled with this.
Mhm.
And then now 6 years clean, like 6 years we
Mhm.
haven't had. And so there was some profound alchemy that happened there, getting to the root cause, going to IIN really for yourself. And so many people will know that. Like, you are your living lab for you to
Yeah.
like put through the to experiment on, if you will, and see what works, what doesn't work. But if you just like high level things, what were some of the things that you did differently that allowed you to get to that great result that you didn't like have in the previous 14 years? What were the like some of the biggest differences?
I think, and this might sound a little crazy, but I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it. When
Mhm,
my doctor, after the colonoscopy, said, well, I don't know what you're doing, but keep on doing it because it's working. Um, I just said, I just changed the way I eat. And I left it like that. But then, you process thoughts and you're like, if nutrition was the only thing that I needed to change, then this problem would have been solved a while ago.
mhm,
Let's be clear, that's not it. It's
mhm,
important, yes.
mhm,
And
mhm.
when I was coming up with my plan, of course, nutrition was a big part of it. What to
Yes.
eat, what not to eat, how to test.
Mhm,
But I started to look back those pandemic days where I was working from home in my pajamas, close to my family, cooking food from home. Um, I was avoiding that driving to work stress,
mhm,
traffic. That
mhm,
was non-existent because I wasn't going anywhere. It was the beginning of the spring, and I remember I had this little tomato plants I was growing in my basement, and if it was a sunny day, I will take them out. I will get the sunlight. I will be in touch with nature in my backyard,
mhm.
in that immense silence that was the pandemic because there were no cars,
Yeah.
being grateful because my family was not sick,
Mhm,
just breathing nature. There's little things that you may think have nothing to do with the healing that have an enormous part in how you can heal what's going on with you.
yeah.
The management of stress is key.
Yeah.
And and that had a lot to do. And those were things that were naturally done. I mean,
Yeah.
but we can replicate that. We don't need another pandemic.
Yeah. Yes. To be fair.
To
Yeah.
be fair, but we can replicate that state of mind, that feeling of coming to your center, finding your peace, gaining clarity, that space in your mind where you can make the best decisions for
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
We can definitely replicate that. And that I think is one of the biggest factors along with nutrition, yes. But yeah.
Yeah, so much wisdom packed in there, and really getting back to nature, getting back to simplicity, getting back to the roots. And I hear that over and over and over again with people who've had, downright miraculous results. And it's not about making things more complex. It's really
Mhm.
getting back to, simplicity. And so I love your story. And if it inspires someone else to go, hey, maybe there's something else you can do. And I will let people know how they can get in touch with you, Maria, at the end here as well. So who is it? So you went there, really for your own health. Once, like, if you don't think that you can get on the other side of ulcerative colitis, you're not going to be inspired to help anyone with it. You've got your own international business that you have. So you weren't looking for anything that way. But as you said, you feel a responsibility. Like when you've just accomplished the impossible, you got to let people know about that. And and so who are you passionate about helping now? Like who is it that you just love who's coming to you, who's attracted to you? Who are you helping now as a health coach?
Well, I help mostly women
Hmm.
because there's this feeling of knowing what kind of stress you are facing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's um, there's a lot to do with that. I help women with ulcerative colitis or any other of the under the IBD umbrella, right?
Yeah.
Crohn's disease, IBS, gut issues.
Mhm.
I help them go back to the life that they love. I help
Mhm.
them go back to enjoying time with their family, being there for them, not missing days of work, practicing their favorite sport, doing really things that they love to do to have a good life because
Mhm.
we all deserve it. It's
Yeah.
not fair. And I know how to get them there. Why would I
Yeah.
keep it to myself?
Yeah. Yeah. It's super rewarding. What is your favorite
Yes.
part about being a health coach? What are your favorite parts about doing this work?
Oh, the rewarding part.
Yeah.
No question. No
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
That I think coaching is one of the most rewarding professions
Yeah.
that can be when you see your client not only coming out of that particular issue that brought them to you, right?
Mhm.
Because there's that one thing, whether it's a diagnosis of a disease or something that is bothering them, when there's so much more that can get transformed
Mhm.
during those sessions, you see the growth. You see them recognizing that not only they're doing good in this aspect, but there's so much more.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a ripple effect, right?
Yeah. 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 It is for me, health coaching is like the best career on the planet for so many people because it can look like whatever you want it to look like. You
Hmm.
know, it's unique to your unique strengths and experiences, and it's about creating a purpose-driven business, a purpose-driven life. It fulfills your mission, and it's very healing to do work you love in your zone of genius, work with who you want, when you want, how you want, where you want. Like it's very healing, and to be able to connect people to their purpose is my purpose, is to help people connect people to their purpose. For you, Maria, when before you came to the Health Professional Academy, what were some of the things that you were struggling with or looking for help with creating your own health coaching practice? Now that you're like, hey, I could help people, how do I help people? So what were some of the things that you were looking for help with? Do you remember?
I always say that when I knew that I wanted to help others, I always say that there's this romantic idea of like, I'm gonna save other women from these
Hmm.
struggles with their gut issues.
Hmm.
And now what? Because just the good intention is not enough.
Yeah.
I needed to know how to get my message out there, coming through, and be clear on what I can offer. What can I do for them?
Hmm.
It sounds easy, is not.
Hmm.
And it's not only that, it also implies having a plan,
Hmm.
know your numbers, know
Yeah.
your strategy,
Yep.
how are you going to get there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I I had no idea about that. None. Zero. And so it was the perfect idea. Just to have the good intention to help other women was not enough, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And I think y- so many health coaches have a lot of information about health and nutrition, and they'll go and get lots of certifications about that. And they knew a lot about that. So did I when I was a doctor for 25 years. That part I knew. But
Mhm.
then there's this gap here of the whole business information and
Yes.
specifically a health coaching business, which is unique. I mean, you had an international business background, but this whole health
Oh,
coaching business is a whole different animal, right? And so it's
completely.
like,
Yes.
and so but we need to have that piece in order for us to be able to help people with their health in
Hmm.
this way as a health coaching business. And it's one of the big gaps. And it's just like we don't know what we don't know. And so a lot of health coaches, and myself included, when I was starting my health coaching practice, I didn't even know I was in business. I didn't even know, I didn't realize this was a business. And in order for you to be able to attract people, help people, serve people without burning yourself out. There's important things
Yes.
that, well, I learned the hard way. And that is, now my mission to help this world be a healthier, happier place. That is your mission as well. You do it in your way by helping these women with gut health. I do it by helping connect health coaches to their gifts, can build their vehicles so that it can support the purpose driven business of their dreams. And so, if you happen to be a health coach and you're listening in here, I'm going to put a link to a free copy of Six Fair Health Coach so that you can look at, like, how do I do that? And so there's some really great information, and you'll see that in the description below. So you've been helping people with ulcerative colitis, and you know firsthand what's required. You shared a little bit about what worked, what didn't work. Anything else that you want to share? Like, what are some myths that people have about ulcerative colitis? I mean, like, one is that nothing can be done. I mean, I've certainly heard relatives share that. But what else? What do you see that people think of when they have ulcerative colitis?
I think, well, like you said, we talked a little bit about this. People are too much focused on the nutritional part of it.
Hmm.
You have to, and it's important. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong. It's very
Hmm.
important part of it. What you eat, what triggers your flare-ups, what you're not supposed to be eating, that is important.
Yeah.
The other side that we mentioned was the stress, right? Because the stress triggers the flare-ups. It brings inflammation, all that. And I think what people are not thinking that is important, and it is, are those micro habits, that
Mm.
those little tweaks in your routine. And not it doesn't need to be very big changes. You don't need to change your life. There's little things that can be done on a regular basis because consistency is key.
Mhm.
Those little tweaks to your everyday routine, as long as you do it over and over, it's a compound. Results are coming
Yes. Yeah.
because you do it, and that doesn't get enough attention in my understanding. And I think it's a great tool to be used.
I absolutely agree. It's like the small hinge that swings open a big door, and being able to put it into, like, it is consistency, and people know that a little bit. If you go to the gym once, for example, versus consistently every day, you're going to get two different results. But also how tiny I like the word that you used, micro habits.
Mhm.
You know, And I love the example that you shared about, like, with your tomato plants, right?
Yes.
Just doing that regularly and getting the sunshine daily, it doesn't seem like a big thing. But before, you're working corporate, you were in a, concrete jungle there and not getting the sunshine daily. And a lot of us can spend many hours without actually getting outside, walking on the grass, or
Right.
getting
Right.
breathing air. And those little shifts compound, as you say, and make a huge difference. It's really powerful, and it's not complicated. It's not rocket science, but it's powerful. It
Mhm.
is, yeah, it's amazing. Oh yeah, I love that. So I'm glad you shared that, because it's a consistency, and actually that's the same thing that builds someone's health coaching practice. It's consistency, having the right plan. First of all, you needed the right plan. Just the nutrition alone before, not enough, right? But you said, all right, I'm focusing on this during the pandemic. I'm focusing on this. I'm going to get a game plan. And you had a powerful motivating factor because you had like one of the worst flares ever. And so you're
Yeah.
like, this is not tolerable. So
Hmm.
what am I going to do? So here I am. Where do I want to be? What's my game plan? And then just doing it consistently. And the results are incredible. So yeah, I love it. And now you can help so many people. In terms of this life that you now get to have as a health coach, and this journey to create this practice, how have you grown personally as a health coach in this role?
Confidence is a big part, big gain here. Um, I know I can give excellent results. I needed to be more confident in showing others what I can do, and that's something I've gained. Clarity. I know exactly what I can do, and how to get my message through.
Hmm.
Um, I think the belonging to this community of healers, that's another big gain when I interact with other health coaches and we share our experiences, the things that we learn, the things that we have that have worked for us, what is not working, and how we support each other. That's that is priceless.
Yeah.
um I think I've learned too that um the the gain is in the fall,
Yeah.
right? Is you learn as you fall. It doesn't matter, you learn
Yeah.
from that, you get up and go.
Yeah.
And another big thing that that I've learned is that I'm not superwoman, so I
Yeah.
need help.
Yeah.
And to ask for help is key,
Yeah.
is actually a sign of strength.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was going to jump in and say it's a sign of strength, and
Yeah,
and because the one thing that I know is I don't know what I don't know.
exactly.
And so, if you see somebody who knows how to do something, then ask. And I mean, you can figure it out the hard way yourself and eventually stumble on it, but it's painful and it doesn't have to be that way. And now, if I can find someone who's, I can't always, but if I can find someone who's done it already, what I want or what I want to achieve or learn or something, then that's the easiest,
Mhm.
it's and the best use of your time. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Your clients are
Mhm.
so blessed to have you as a coach,
Yeah.
obviously, firsthand. And then because you get to root cause, then there's so many spin-off benefits. And I kind of teased it at the beginning. But you have a few examples of people who came to you for one thing, and unlike, so a lot of things, when the reason I share this is like if you go for, a weight loss drug, for example, you can lose fat, but you also can lose muscle and you have these side effects,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
so it's kind of like this. But when you get to the root cause, and you help people heal their gut, then not only their gut gets healthy, but all of these other things that are spin-off benefits happen. And I just love that ripple, that wave. It's
Mhm.
incredible. And so it's just like win, win, win. It just gets better, better, better. Share a couple of examples of clients that you've worked with where they came to you for something and then they had some of these, and just like listen in here, guys, because if you're struggling with your gut health, that in itself is reason to go after and look and see what you can do about it. But here's some of these other benefits. Okay, take it away.
Okay, so she is my youngest client. She goes to college with all that comes with it, right? All the stress, the classes. She's also working part-time. She is a full-time student. She was diagnosed with IBS. And let's say that she doesn't cook. She goes to college. She eats a lot. She was eating a lot of fast food. Let me
Yeah.
take that. So we had to a lot to work on that.
Yeah.
Again, micro habits, little tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
And she was getting better, right? She was the IBS was receding. Her gut felt much better. in the last time we talked, she's like, you know what, I've noticed that before I was scared to give a presentation because she would get this like brain fog. She would forget what she needed to say. And she's like, I gave a presentation and I didn't get that. And I'm able to focus better and my grades are better. I'm like, whoa, great. That is a great result and has nothing to do, or does it, with my
Yeah.
health?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, and I have another one of my first clients. She's living in the States, but she was originally from Mexico. She loves to cook, passionate about Mexican food, which I have to say, she's really good at it. But she had some issues with high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Um, she knew that something in her digestion wasn't really good. She wanted to lose some weight, and she comes to me. Okay, we talked about all the things that we can do. We come up with a plan. We start working on it. Her numbers come to acceptable levels. When she went to the doctor, everything was okay. But she's like, really, what makes me sad is that I cannot eat that much of my Mexican food that I love so much. I'm like, okay, we need to work on that because being happy is part of being healthy.
Exactly.
So she turned her favorite recipes of Mexican food into a healthier version of them. And as she's been sharing them, now people want to buy those from her. So now not only her cholesterol numbers are low and blood pressure is what it needs to be, and she lost some weight, but also she's starting a business. So she's a very happy person.
She's selling her food.
She's selling her food, and she's selling that Mexican food that everybody loves in a healthier version of it.
Awesome. And then so the ripple effect will be for all the people as well that are consuming that. And so like
Exactly.
a
She's
win-win
sharing that.
all the way. I love that. And I've had other clients who've helped people improve their diet, and sometimes they love to cook, and then that has spilled over into a secondary business. And so, so many great, ripple effects that are there when you get to the root cause. I'm a huge advocate for that. How can people get in touch with you, Maria, if they are like, I want to talk to her? Maybe she could come up with a plan for me. I don't know. I've been struggling here. And she looks like she's happy. It sounds like her clients are happy. They're getting some great results with their energy, their mood, their weight, their gut health. How can they reach you?
Well, they can visit my website is www.thegood-gutsolution.com, or they can visit my Instagram page and message me through that at the uh, good-gut solution. It's easier to communicate through Instagram, through messages. I'm always there.
Awesome. I love that. So the good dash
Gut solution.
gutsolution.com. And so check her out. Definitely connect with her. She's a wealth of information, and she's very I'm going to say friendly, warm, inviting, intelligent,
Thank
smart. She knows how to take care of people and customize it, because your 20-year-old customer, or customer, not customer, but your 20-year-old client is going to be different situation than somebody who's, you know, older, but
you.
cooks Mexican food and stuff. And so you can take the same plan and customize it for that person. It's not cookie
Absolutely.
cutter. And I think more and more people are appreciating having a real person to talk to that's really been through there. Because Chat GPT trying to give you an example of what to do is not the same thing as actually when you have to do it, your own health. So definitely check her out. And if you are looking to create a significant health coaching practice and you're like, how do you get your message out into the world? How do you share that so that you can let your people know what you've overcome and how you can start to attract clients? I'm going to put a video here on how to create client attractive content that will help you out with that. So with that, thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, have a fantastic week, everybody, and be good for you.